Table 8.3.
Combustion dilution air requirement for appliances having a draft control device when the combined input is up to including 4,000 BTU, 120 kilowatt, and the structure does not comply with clause 8.2.1 or B.
Okay, so look at Mr. Adam. It gave you three data, three information, okay?
Yes,
First
sir.
of all, it said that here, appliance have the draft control, okay? So
Yes,
it's
sir.
natural draft, okay? Then it gave you 400,000 BTU, up to 400, up to and include 400,000 BTU. And the last, it said, do not comply with clause number 8.2.1. It doesn't comply. What does it mean, sir? When it said here, not comply with clause number 8.2.1, mean the structure is loose house, okay? When it said comply, it means tight house. So this one, on table 8.1, 8.2, it was comply with clause number 8.2.1. It means the structure was tight house. Now this table 8.3 and 8.4 is loose house, okay? So this table is exactly the same as table 8.1, except it's the structure is this loose house. And in this table, it gave you the volume of the house, okay? The volume, how big is the house, okay? Why? Why it gave you the volume? It gave the volume from 500, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, okay, etc. Because when it is loose house, sir, the air, we have infiltration, exfiltration from everywhere. The air can come in and go out everywhere when it is loose house. Okay, now let's see. We understood that this table is regard to loose house, and 8.3 also is regard to the appliance with control device, means natural draft, right? When you say control device, means natural draft with draft control. Okay, so I gave you one example. I solved the first one and you do the next one. How about that? Okay, write it down, please. We need pencil, piece of paper, and the ruler, and one calculator. That's all. So we do have one furnace with natural draft, 110,000 BTU installed in a house, which is 8,000 cubic feet the volume, and it is not comply with clause number 8.2.1 A and B. So again, I do have a furnace, the BTU 110,000 BTU installed in a house which is not comply with clause number 8.2.1, and the BTU and the volume of the house is 8,000. Find the opening for the combustion dilution air. So what we do, since it said not comply and it said the draft hood become table 8.3. Now it said 110. Now we look at on 110, so next is 125. We go on 125, you put your ruler in front of 125, okay? Then it said the volume of house is 8,000. So from 8,000, you come down, you will see zero opening. You don't need to make any opening for combustion.
Can you repeat again? I didn't get it, sir.
Mr. Ahmed, write it down, please. Okay, we have a furnace, 110,000 BTU, okay? The volume of the house is 8,000. The furnace it has a draft control. When we say draft control, it means natural draft. And the house is not comply with 8.2.1 A and B, means loose house. So since we have those information, we look at on table 8.3. On table 8.3, for 110,000, you go 125. Between 100 to 125, you go 125. Look at here. It said, do not comply with clause number 8.2.1 A and B. if it's a comply, tight house.
Tight house, yes, sir.
Do not comply, it means
It's
loose
loose
house.
Loose house.
When it's on the loose house, you go on table 8.3 and 8.4. Table 8.3 is regard to draft control. Okay, so this question was for draft control. So let me go to the next, please. Okay, thank you. Mr. Benyam, would you read this table 8.4, please?
Combustion air requirement for appliances not having a draft control devices when combined input is up to and including 400,000 BTU, and the structure does not comply with clause 821, A or B.
Yeah, sir, look at this, sir. Combustion air required for an appliance not having draft control. When it doesn't have draft control, mean not natural draft, so it should be fan assisted. Okay.
Yes.
So fan assisted appliance, which the BTU is up to 400,000, and the structure and the building do not comply with clause number 8.2.1 A and B. So what does it mean? It means loose house.
Loose house, yes.
Okay, so we have an appliance. It doesn't have a draft control and installed in the loose house. So which table you go? Table 8.4. So let's go table 8.4, see what it says. Mr. Karan, on this table, Mr. Benyam, first column tell you the BTU, the same as before, okay, 25 to whatever. The second column is telling you supply inch square, okay? On top, we'll start from 500 volume to 1,000 to 2,000 and go, etc. This is the volume of the house. So when it's loose house, they give you the volume too. So you want to write it down, please?
Yes, sir.
We do have hot water tank, 145,000 BTU, do not have draft control, and install in the structure not comply with clause number 8.2.1 A and B. So again, we do have hot water tank, 145,000, no draft control. The volume is 10,000 and installed in a house not comply with clause number 8.2.1 A and B. Please find the combustion dilution air opening for the combustion. The volume is 10,000 cubic feet.
It's zero, sir.
Yeah, so look at sir, 145, we go 150.
50, yeah.
Put your ruler in front of 150, you go 10,000 and you will be zero.
Yeah, we have enough air in the house.
You have enough air is coming to the house from everywhere, okay? We don't need to make another hole. It's a loose house. Mr. Jen, look at 8.2.5. Would you read that?
Yeah, sure. 8.2.5. The free area of the outdoor air supply, if required by clause 8.2.4, should be determined from table 8.3 for an appliance having a draft control devices, and table 8.4 for an appliance not having a draft control devices. Using the total input of all appliances in the structure or enclosure. If an appliance with draft control devices and an appliance without draft control devices are installed within the same structure or enclosure, the required free area of the air supply opening should be the greater of A, that required by the table 8.3 using the total input of only those appliances having draft control devices, or B, that required by table 8.4 using the total input of all appliances.
Okay, this clause number is the same as clause number 8.2.2. But 8.2.2, it was for tight house. 8.2.5 is for loose house. In this table, it said if you have two or more appliances, which is combination with draft control and without draft control, how we calculate the opening? First, we go on table 8.3. Those are that is with draft control, you add them together and find what's the opening. Then you go on table 8.4 and total all of them, add together all the input and find whichever greater is the opening here, whichever the bigger is the answer. Did you understand so far? So first you go on table 8.3.
Yeah.
Those are with the draft control.
Yeah.
Okay. How many draft control? If you have 1, 2, 3, whatever you have, add them.
Yeah.
And look at on table 8.3.
Yeah.
Then all of them appliance 1, 2, 3, 4. How many appliance you have? Add them
Yeah.
together, the total, and
Yeah.
look at on table 8.4. Whichever
Yeah.
is bigger is the answer.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Got it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Just repeat one more time, sir.
Okay, sure. This class number is the same as class number 8.2.2. If we do have combination of the draft control and without draft control, which installed in the loose house, how we can calculate the opening for combustion air. So first we come in, we add those appliances which it has a draft control. First, those natural draft one, we add them. If there is 1 or 2 or 3, how many natural draft you have them, add them together and look at on table 8.3. Then you go table 8.4 and you add all the appliance, total appliance, draft control and without draft control. Add them together and look at table 8.4.
It's the same like 8.1 and 2.
The same, yeah, exactly. Whichever is bigger is the answer.
Yeah.
Everybody understood? Yes, Miss Lily, can you tell us what we said?
Oh, we talk about table 8.3.
Okay, Miss Lily, we talk about those appliances which we have draft control and without draft control, which we install in a loose house, and the total is less than 400,000 BTU. Yeah, how we can calculate the opening for combustion air. First, we come in on table 8.3. Why 8.3? Because it's regard to loose house. We add all those draft control together and look at on this table. Then we go on table 8.4. Add them all, draft control and without draft control together, and check it with this table. Okay?
Yes.
Good. Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Okay, now please listen. I give you an example. Let's write it. I want you to do it and put it in the private chat. Okay, we do have one appliance with draft control, 130,000 BTU, and one appliance without draft control, 50,000 BTU, both installed in a structure not comply with class number 8.2.1 and B, and the structure is 6,000 cubic feet. Find an opening for the combustion air. I repeat it again, 130,000 with draft control and 50,000 without draft control. So it's two appliances, one with draft control, one without. And the volume of house is 6,000 cubic feet and is a loose house. Find an opening, please. Yeah, put it in the chat, please. Both I need a square inch and round. Okay, let me do it, please. Look at, sir. We said we have two appliances. One is 130, one is 50. One is natural draft, one is without draft. And 6,000 square. So we said first you go on table 8.3. For 130,000, you would see 150, right? 150. 150, you put your ruler here, and 6,000. Sir, it gave you 22 inches square and 14 millimeter square. Okay, that's what I don't want it. I say I want a round one. Then please write it down now. I will tell you how you get it. And then we go on the next. So you write it 22 and 14. Then you go on the next, okay, on 8.4. 8.4, you add them together. 130 plus 30, 180. So you go on 200, right? On 200, you go here, okay, and you find out for 6,000 is 0, okay? So 0 is 0. So 22 is the answer, but is inch square. How you find it, the round one? You go on table 8.1. You see for 22 inch, the square is 5 inch round. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I'm gonna
Yes,
repeat it
okay.
again. Listen.
Done.
Okay.
Read.
First, we go to 8.3. On 8.3 is natural draft.
Natural draft 8.3. Yes.
We go 150 because 130 is between 125 150. I put my ruler here.
15600 is gonna be 2214. Yes, I got the first one.
Thank you, sir. So you
Yeah.
write it down, okay? Now, by the class number 8.2.5, you say go to the table 8.4, okay? So on table 8.4, 130 plus 50, say total, add them all together. 130 plus
Excuse me, sir. How we are gonna add with 130?
2 appliances, yes. When it's 2 appliances, 1 draft and 1 without draft, then you go table 8.4, add them together, and now it's 200. On 206,000, you will get 0. So which one is bigger? 22 and 14, right? But 22 inches square. Now I say I want a round one. 22 is this one, sir. 22 is inch square, okay? 2 by 10 or whatever. But I need the round one, okay? Because Mr. Khalid's house is big. He won't let me to do the square. He want a round pipe. Okay, so then for round one, I don't have it on this table 8.3. The round, the 22 equal to what's wrong. Table 8.1 say for 22 inches equal to 5 inch round. Table 8.1 is say for 22 inches square is this 22 inches square equal to 5 inch round. So 5 inch round one.
Oh, so after I find there, you went to the table 8.1.
Yes. What is 22 inch equal to?
Sir, 8.1 is the type house.
Yeah. Mr. Nassim, read this part, please. 8.2.3.
8.2.3. An outdoor air supply shall not be required for a single water heater with an input of 50,000 BTU per hour or 50 kilowatt or less without an enclosure or structure where there are no other appliances that require an air supply, except for direct vent water heaters. When the water heater is contained in an enclosure, permanent opening shall be provided as described in clause 8.2.6.
Thank you, sir. Did you understand this one, Nassim? Okay, please highlight this class number. 100% is coming in your test. They will ask you in the test what is a only appliance which it doesn't require combustion air from outside. What is a or the only appliance which it doesn't require combustion air from outside? Here is the an outdoor air supply shall not be required. We don't need it for a, please, a single, not married, a single, only one water heater up to 50,000, 50,000 or less. So if you have an appliance, if you have hot water tank only 50,000 or less, and it is in the house, it doesn't require combustion air.
Okay, my water heater I have it's 40,000 BTU. That doesn't need any combustion air.
How much is it, sir?
40,000.
40,000 is the small one?
Yes.
Okay, if it is small one, but If this your hot water tank, it is in the place where the furnace is, it needed. It's only a hot water tank, sir.
Okay. I got it.
You got it?
Yes.
No other appliance.
No other appliance. It said, please highlight it. It come in your test for a single hot water tank, 50,000 or less. But if this hot water tank is close to the furnace, it needed. If it's with another dryer or something else, it needed. Only. Now you will, the inspector is coming in your house, sir, in your basement, and your basement is not finished. Did you understand 8.3? Highlight it, please. It come in your test, okay? Now we go to the next one is little hard. Please make sure to understand. Now, Mr. Amandip, would you please read 8.2.6?
When an appliance is located with an enclosure and permanent opening sized and located according with item A and B of this clause are supplied to allow communication between the enclosure and rest of the structure, the total volume of structure may be used to determine air supply requirement, provided that the structure is not constructed as described in clause 8.2.1a and does not comply with clause 8.2.1b. Otherwise, the volume of the enclosure shall be used. The opening shall be as follows. A. In all cases, an opening shall be provided that shall have a free area of not less than 1 inch square per 1000 BTU of the total input of all appliances within the enclosure. And second, be located not more than 18 inch or less than 6 inch above floor level. B. When one or more appliances are equipped with draft control devices, an additional opening shall be supplied having the same free area as the opening required in item A, and the opening shall be located as near as ceiling as practicable, but in no case lower than the relief opening of the lowest draft control device.
Okay, so sir, let me explain it because it's a little complicated, okay? Please, I want you to highlight this part that I'm saying. First of all, in the test is coming an enclosure, okay? This is important. This is 8.2.6 is a special case of table 8.3 and 8.4, which is loose house, okay? Now, it says if you have an appliance or two or more appliances, which it is in an enclosure, and this appliance are installed in the loose house, not comply with 8.2.1 A and B. So 2 items. First, in loose house. Second, in an enclosure. Okay? In an enclosure, sir. This one. Sometimes this an enclosure, they put it on the question, on your question in the last, in the corner, small here. They wrote it in an enclosure. So you have to read the question carefully up to end, and if it's say in an enclosure, this is a special clause number of the loose house. So far, I'm repeating again. In the loose house, we say when is not comply with clause number 8.2.1 A and B. And now, if you have a loose house, I'm gonna draw the picture and write it down, Mr. Khaled, okay?
Yes, sir.
And in the loose house, if the appliances are installed in an enclosure and loose house, okay? Please do not forget loose house in enclosure.
Yeah.
So far we understood? Mr. Jamal, listen. First we want to understand the question, then we're going to solve it, okay? So in case they have a question that they said you have appliance, they give you appliance, all the BTU, everything, and even though they give you the size of the square feet of the house too. Then on the bottom, it say enclosure, okay? When they say that, now, how you solve it? Yes, Mr. Jamal, we need a combustion because it's in the closure. It's closed. So we have combustion air, okay? It's not anymore in the opening, right? It's enclosed now. So now what opening do we require for combustion air? Well, this opening is not from outside. It is just the wall of enclosure. So we got the question. If it is in an enclosure and if it is in the loose house, so how are we going to deal with it if we have an appliance in an enclosure and the loose house? I'm going to draw the question first and I will explain it 100%, sir. Look at, sir, we have a loose house. In loose house, the air entering from everywhere, from here, over there, okay? We got loose house. Now we have enclosure, furnace room. We have enclosure. Inside the enclosure, I do have appliance, in no matter how many, okay? If you don't mind, just I draw one appliance. It doesn't matter how many appliances, okay? I would draw one appliance.
Mr. Masi, the enclosure could be a closet, right? Or anything like that?
Yeah, closet, furnace room. This question, it is in enclosure. When it's enclosure, it means finished basement, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We don't worry about vent now, okay? Vent, it can go to anywhere, okay? This is natural draft, okay? Now, we do have an appliance in an enclosure in the loose house. Now we want to see how we can calculate the combustion air. Now it's different. Here is an enclosure. Okay, now I need the opening for this furnace. So what opening I needed? But I have to make opening inside the enclosure here. If you remember on those loose house, the inspector, it come from Inbridge, and he said, okay, open the door, one grill on the door or one grill on the side. I'll bet you some of y'all see that case. This is the answer for that, okay, sir?
Okay, got you.
Okay, this is for that one, okay? So, sir, now in the 8.2.6, when you read it, sir, it said, if you have that one, now how you solve it, you add them all together and divide 1,000. Assume this is 140,000 BTU, okay?
Yes.
Now, what opening do I need? Now, the solution is here, okay? You divide 140,000, divide by 1,000, equal to 140 inches square. Here is important. This 140 inches square, the opening, if it is natural draft, see here it said on B, when one or more appliances are equipped with draft control device, an addition opening shall be supplied. If it is natural draft, you have to have two openings, one in the bottom here and one on the top. You have two types of appliance, either draft control or without draft control. If it is draft control, you need two openings, one on the bottom, one in the top. If it is fan assisted, only one on the bottom. If you have two appliances, one fan, one natural draft, again, you need two openings. So we have two types of appliance, either draft control or non-draft control. If it is draft control, you need two appliances, one in bottom, one in top.
There are two openings, sir.
Yes, two openings.
Yeah.
If it is with draft control, two opening. If without draft control, one opening. Now, where is the opening? Where should be?
Yeah.
Now, on the A, it said not more than 18 inch here. It meant here. Here, not less than 6 inch here from bottom. Okay? So this opening, it should be here from ground, not less than 6 inch and not more than 18. So what does it mean? Let me write it down, please.
Quick question, Mr. Masi. Pretend this is a closet and that has a door. So if you cut the door 6 inches from the bottom, that wouldn't help.
18 inch. Okay, so what does it mean? It means that this 140,000 BTU is gonna be what? Tell me, is it 20 by 7? Yes?
Yeah, Captain.
20 by 7, if you put 7 here, 7 height and 20 width, yes.
Done. You can do it.
If you put 7 height, 7 on height, 20 on width, yes, it can be.
Got you.
Because 7 is more than 6. Doesn't matter the width, how much is it? But if you tell me you're gonna make it the grill 20 by 7, 20 height, no.
No,
Because
cannot
it
be.
said
No.
maximum
Because
18 inch.
We have it maximum in between that one.
Width, we can
No,
increase the
you have
width.
another option. How about 12 by, what is it? 12 by 12? Yes,
Yeah,
it can
that's
be
be
12
fine.
by 12.
Yes.
It's because 12 is not less than 6, not more than 20. Let me explain. So we said if we do have a house which is not comply with clause number 8.2.1 A and B, which is loose house. And if this loose house has an enclosure inside, applies installed in an
Mohammed Sheikh.
enclosure, how much is gonna be the opening for combustion air? Since this is a loose house and in enclosure, we go to a special case 8.2.6. 8.2.6, we add all those appliance BTU together, divide by 1,000. Whatever you get is the square inch opening. If it is a natural draft, you need 2 opening, one in bottom, one in top. The bottom one, it shouldn't be less than 6 inch, not more than 18. A top one should be as close as to the ceiling. If you have only an fan assisted, only you need make one opening on the bottom. Everybody understand?